Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video for my teaching friends. So if you come to my channel for more of my lifestyle stuff, this video might not be for you. But as you can tell by the title, this video is all about how to handle those defiant children, those defiant behaviors. So if you are a teacher and you struggle with this video is for you. So I will have a few tips. I think I have like 4 tips on just basically how to handle those behaviors. Now, I will say, over the years, I have gained a lot of experience in this in a very short time. So I haven't been teaching that long. I've been teaching 6 years, but in those 6 years, the experiences that I've have made it so I feel like I've learned so much about this one subject. And also, with that being said, I don't feel like every student fits into a label for being a defiant child. There are so many different variations of this, and I feel like bottom line, you have to know the student. So today I'm actually going to be focusing on the defiant behaviors of perhaps a emotional support child versus maybe a student who is not labeled as ODD or emotional support and simply just has a learned behavior of not really accepting being told no, or that you can't do something. You know, they kind of just went their way. That is kind of a different, I feel like, video. Like, I felt that if I would try to put all of the defiant behaviors into one video, it would be way too much, and there's more to it than just saying a student is defiant. I just don't like labeling every student as that because I feel like there's just so much that goes into it. So if you have students who tend to be defiant, perhaps for maybe issues at home or things that they've experienced, just basically those emotional support needs, then this video might help you. So I have 4 different areas that I'm going to be talking about today, so just keep watching. First, let's talk about my experience real quick and my story and why I'm even sitting here in front of you guys talking about this. So first of all, this video has been requested, and I'm not sure if the people who requested it have the students necessarily that I've experienced, or it's more of, like I said, the students who just simply have a learned behavior of not understanding that they can't always get what they want. But my experience really stems from the jobs I've had, and very quickly I was thrown into an experience of emotional support needs of children. I graduated wide-eyed and ready to teach, and I got a job in a very urban area for an alternative education school that was a second chance school. Basically, the kids that were expelled sadly from their school could go to this school and kind of like earn back their spot at the public school. And sadly, I feel like the school put up with a lot of behavior, so the fact that they got expelled was a pretty big deal because it wasn't just little things. Honestly, I don't feel like the school was very strict, so the things that they did to get there were pretty significant. And this experience, it affected me in so many ways. I can't even tell you in a short little video. Like, I could do a whole video on this experience. I mean, I felt more like I was a role model or a counselor sometimes than I really was a teacher, and that's just what the kids needed. It learned so much. It opened my eyes to so much. These things that these kids go through on a daily basis is beyond anything I could dream of. I mean, you watch like movies and stuff about kind of stuff like this, and I don't know, I didn't really think it was, I guess, reality, and it is, and the things that they go through is crazy. It was just a different world. Like, that's the best way to put it. It made me so blessed and grateful to grow up with the life that I did have, because seeing and being exposed to all of that, it was very eye-opening, to say the least. Obviously, these kids had significant emotional support needs. They were very defiant at times. They had a lot going on, and that experience just taught me so much. Then after that experience, I taught in Maryland for 2 years, and I traveled between 2 schools at that time, so I feel like I never really got to know those kids as much. But then I came to the school that I'm at now, and the school I'm at now has a very high population of emotional support children because we actually are kind of like the hub for the emotional support needs. So we will get students coming to us for support from other schools in our district. And so with that higher population, I've had even more experience with those children and with defiant tendencies and behaviors. So that's basically like my story and how I've learned what I'm about to tell you and my experiences and how that kind of affects my teaching. Also, from having these experiences, I've really learned that the experiences that you've given, they're kind of there for a reason, and sometimes I didn't understand why I was put in the situations that I was put in. You know, I would come home and cry a lot. I would, especially that first job. And I truly now feel like you are given those situations, those experiences, those opportunities for a reason. For whatever reason, God wanted me to follow this path of helping students with emotional support needs, and it's just how it is. So for whatever reason, I do work really well with these kiddos, and I have empathy and I have patience, probably more patience than I probably should have, but it's kind of like, I don't know, my personality, my experiences has just built up this knowledge of dealing with these kids and the best way to go about it. So how do you handle these emotional support kiddos who are defiant and who are just causing disruptions in your class, and it's affecting their learning, it's affecting your teaching? I mean, that is where the real problem lies. So what do you do? The main tip I have learned is to build a relationship with these kids. It is so important. I cannot tell you how important this one is, to build a rapport with your students, especially those kids who push you away. They are the ones who need it the most. It's just how they work. They want to put up walls and push you away, and really, truly, deep down, they want to connect with you. They maybe just sometimes don't know how. So build a relationship with them. A while back, I did a video on building relationships with my students. I will link it above. It is pretty old, but it is still on my channel and out there, and it has good tips in it, so you can check that out. But build a relationship with them, please. Like, don't just put a wall up because they're difficult. Try to get to know them, figure out their interests, you know, talk to them like they are a human being. And when they sense that you are interested in them and you're genuine, they will start to want to please you. They'll start to put those walls down just a little bit. Tip number 2 is, if you cannot build a relationship with them, if you simply butt heads with a student, if you just can't make that connection, seek help. Seek somebody who can, because there's probably a teacher in your building who has made that connection with the kid, who the kid has connected with and they've listened to, and seek help from them. There's so many times I've gone to a coworker and I knew they had a connection with the student. I said, hey, can you talk to so-and-so? They did, and you know, they worked their magic with their rapport with the student, and it really did help. So definitely always seek help from another colleague. Tip number 3 is, students do need consistency and structure, and that's something that they don't always get at home outside of school. That's sometimes part of the problem. So if you can give them consistency and structure, that is always key. They sometimes act like they don't want that, but really they do, because like I said, they just sometimes don't get that at home. Number 4 is a big one, and one that I am always continuing to work on, and that is that you and the child need space to calm down. I feel like if you are heightened in the situation, the child's emotions are heightened, it's never going to end well. So whatever happens, even if the child is sitting there saying no to you, won't move, if that's the defiant behavior that's going on, sometimes I will just walk away for a little bit. I'll let the child calm down for a while, and then I will revisit the situation and talk to the student. So picture a student who is just simply saying no, refusing to either move, go to the carpet, take a break, whatever it is, they are refusing. I will oftentimes just leave the situation, let them calm down, let me calm down, and then revisit it and talk to them. And I found that this helps a lot. Your energy affects the student. It's so much more than you realize. If you are all heightened and upset, the student feeds off that energy and they become heightened and upset. It is better to try to bring their energy down. So if you come up to here, the student's probably going to go back up to here, and then it'll just keep on climbing up, and it's going to end in a big issue. Versus if you try to remain as calm as possible, it's so hard sometimes, and that's why I'm working on it, because oftentimes I get so frustrated, and if I just walk away from the situation, I can kind of gather my thoughts before I end up maybe making the situation worse. And the same for the student. If I can get the student to calm down first, then they will not make the situation any worse, and they will calm down as well. If the student is on the older side, like I would say 5th grade, 6th grade is what I teach K through 6th grade. So if there's a 5th grader who's being defiant, if there's a 6th grader who's being defiant, and we've calmed down, I will talk with them in private, give them that respect, but I will also talk to them like they're a human, like they're an adult, because these type of kids, they respect that more than being talked down to. Also, you want the student, no matter the age, to come up with the conclusion on their own of what happened, what caused the situation, what caused the student to be upset, or there's always something that happens before. You want to try to be proactive. So if you can get the student to really try to reflect and figure out why X, Y, and Z happened, then maybe you can work on preventing the why, so that the explosion or the defiance behavior just never even happens. So making sure that even if you know the answer, even if you know what the student did wrong or what happened, what caused it, try to get them to problem solve and make the conclusion on their own. And then the last part of this tip is so important in order to also set up these students for success in the real world, and that is that if X, Y, and Z happens, then this will happen. So you need to have some sort of behavior plan in place with consequences. Also, positive reinforcement, of course, is good too, to try to boost them up and build their confidence. But still, if something happens, if you set up a behavior plan, even if they come up with the conclusion of, oh yeah, I messed up, I did this, there still needs to be a, if you do this, then this will happen, because that's just how life is. If we speed, we get a ticket. I mean, there's consequences through your whole life. So that's just my philosophy. I am not going to claim that I am trained in this at all or anything like that. This is just my thoughts from my experiences over the last 6 years. Some pretty intense experiences, but still, they're still my personal experiences and my story. So take what you want from this video. I hope it helped you. If you have any other advice about emotional support defiant children, you can always leave it down below for the other viewers, or just any feedback would be great. If you want a more specific video about defiant children, like get on their level, talk calmly, that kind of stuff, just let me know, because I can be a little more specific about just the general defiant behavior versus maybe an emotional support student. But this was kind of just where I went with the video, my thoughts on it. I wanted it to be more of a chit chat about my feelings and my experiences and just how I handle these kinds of situations. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope this video helped you. I am planning on filming a bunch of videos this weekend. I'm so excited about some of them, so be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do teaching and lifestyle content on my channel, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!